There she is.
All right, we got that. Let's see what else we got to do.
Let's get the show started.
All right, give me just a second. One more thing here. Morty. Just about there. All right, y'all ready?
We are ready when you are.
Let me get my song up. All right, here we go. Julie and Milo show is here today. You don't want to miss a single word they say. Bringing you founders from near and far. Listen as they tell you now just who they are. Listen to their stories and how they tell. In just 3 minutes how they're doing well. Telling us what it's all about today. And how they are loving that old academy way on passive. It's a here today on passive. There's just no better way. Listen to the Julie and the Milo show. So then you can be the very first you know on passive. It's a here today. Julie and Milo show is coming your way Wednesday night on passive. Oh yeah. Julie, take it away, Julie.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Milo. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Wednesday night Julie and Milo show. Today is February 16th, 2022. My name is Julie Nguyen. I'm coming to you from Orange County, California. Today is a day that we lost a dear friend in our community. So before we even start the show, as everyone received the news this morning, we lost Susan Bacall this morning, is David Bacall's from Papua New Guinea. So let's take a minute of silence to dedicate and send prayers to his family and the whole entire Papua New Guinea.
Julie, I couldn't believe it this morning when we woke up and we seen the news. What a sad day for OnPassive. David Bacall, most noble guy that does so much with Papua New Guinea, and Susan, just a sad day for OnPassive. We pray that David, we send our condolences to him and send prayers to him. It's tough. It's really tough. But anyway, well, we're here tonight. And remember, we're so glad to have you here, because if you guys were not here, we would not have the Julie and Milo show. That's just the way it is. Me and Julie wouldn't come on here by ourselves, I don't think. She'd just call me on the phone. But anyway, we got a great program tonight. Take it away, Julie. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. So tonight we make our program, we dedicate our program just really to help with the sport coaches around the world, right? Not only that, we are hoping what we share here with the discussion we have here will help the coaches, the sport coaches, the students, the managers, the supervisors, the parents, everyone that involved in the growth of this active young athlete or old athlete, it doesn't matter what. If you are involved in any kind of sport that you need some help, I do understand. My daughter is in some type of sport, and I do understand the amount of money that needs to put in there just to help them to have a well-rounded, active little body, right? So we all have kids, grandkids, and we know that the coaches, the managers of the club, the sport club, the community need a lot of help. And we do see that OnPassive has the tools and the services that helping all of them, us, kids, grandkids here. So today I have talked to Doug Mauro, who is from Laguna Beach, California. I met him in one of our in-person coffee meet on Friday morning, and we chat, and I found out that he's not only a professional volleyball player, he also coaches team. So I invited Doug here today. He's going to spend about 15-20 minutes with us, but he's going to talk to us about what he as a coach going through the difficulties, and then hopefully, you know, all of us can chime in and help, because Doug Mauro is also a founder of OnPassive. He does understand it, but I do believe that other people who are watching this live stream on a lot of YouTube channel will actually help them to understand what OnPassive can offer them, hopefully to give them the best, and that later on when they go out there, they coach with the passion instead of money or the strugglings that they have. So Doug, without further ado, if you could please introduce yourself, how long you've been in OnPassive, what are you excited about it, and kind of tell us, being a coach, and what do you see OnPassive help, and what are the struggles, so that all of us can add into the values of the topic that we're talking about here. So Doug Mauro from Laguna Beach, California.
All right. Hi, Julie and Milo. Thank you very much for putting me on your show. It's a lot of questions, Julie. You're going to have to refresh me if I don't answer it in order. But
so
anyways,
first of all, tell us who you are. Why are you excited about OnPassive? And I'll break into a few more.
Okay. So my name's Doug Mauro. I live in Laguna Beach, California. And I played professional beach volleyball back in the 90s with the best players in the world. At one time, I was ranked like 48th in the world. And I'm only 5'8" and a quarter. So I had a good jump, and I needed a tall guy and stuff like that. But then once we got to the US had a bad economy in like 08, 09. And I just kind of thought like, oh my gosh, I need to be able to work on the internet and make some money. Okay. I had all my eggs in the real estate basket, and I just needed a source of income because real estate just went downhill. And so I started up a little beach volleyball club, you know, where I'm doing clinics and stuff like that with little kids. And then, and I started working at like the top indoor clubs in the nation. The first one was called T Street, which if any of you guys have kids in volleyball, they've probably seen them because they're always in like the top 5 in the nation. And then now I'm currently at 949 Athletics, which is more known for their boys volleyball. But what I see, I got into OnPassive in October 8th, I think is my date of 2018. And we didn't have a name, didn't have a website or anything, but the concept was basically, when I went on the webinars then, was, hey, we're going to do a one-stop shop where we're going to take all this online marketing stuff and we're putting it all on one GUI, right? So it's going to be on your desk, and we're just going to be able to market, because from 2009 to 2018, every little deal or scam I went on or something like that, it just didn't work financially because I would have to get a subscription to like GoDaddy for my domain name and my hosting, and then they try to upsell you on a package there. Then I would go, okay, well, how do I make a video? How do I edit a video? Okay, I'm gonna get this type of editing software like Camtasia or something like that. And so I'm in deep for like $2,000 or $3,000, you know. Then I had to learn each one and be able to flip back and forth from each one in order to even just get a small little product out there. And once I heard about this solution, I said, wow, I'm in for sure. I didn't even hesitate. I said, my sponsor's Tom, I forget his last name, but he lives in the Philippines. And I just said, I'm in. He had my email from some deal that we did about 3 years before that. We never talked or anything, but he sent an email. I saw it and asked him one question, and I said, I'm in. And got my whole family in it right away. And so I'm really excited. But that's basically why I signed up. But now that it's really improved, and stop me if you want to ask a question, now that I see that it's really, you know, gone from here, right, to just blossoming into this whole ecosystem, it's kind of unlimited what you could use it for. I think it's going to help any business that you have. So in the volleyball, go ahead, Milo.
Absolutely, Doug. You know, it is. And let me just ask you a couple questions here. Now, you said you were a professional ball player, right? So you were playing actually professional volleyball, and you traveled around the country?
Yeah, country and a little bit in Asia and Puerto Rico.
Okay, did you ever go up to St. Joseph, Michigan? Because we used to have the
I played in Grand Haven.
Grand Haven, okay, yeah, that's right up by where I used to live. But anyway, let's just take that right there, okay, and let's talk about that for a second. Now, how did you have to pay your way, or did the team pay your way? How did that work?
If I got in about 5 years earlier, the sponsors were basically throwing money at the volleyball world, like $10,000 a year for flights and hotels and stuff like that. By the time I got in, it was mostly just incentives. Like if you got pictures in a magazine or, you know, interviewed on TV or something like that, then you'd get maybe like $100 or something. And so it was pretty tough for the guys that were, you know, it was only 64 players that can go on the tour each stop. So I was probably at the bottom, you know. I had to usually play like the 9th or 10th seed first. And so we would, you know, you'd win maybe like $1,000 a weekend, and then you'd barely even play on Sunday. So you're just kind of going out because you're at that age.
So with OnPassive, the way I see this helping something like that is, you know, you get a spot or whatever with OnPassive, and you could get people to sign up and sponsor you or whatever. They buy sponsorships, they make money, but it also pushes you guys up where it pays for everything. Do you see that as happening? And I see that with the whole sports world.
Yeah, I didn't even think of it that way when Julie and I were talking the other day, because I'm mostly kind of applying it towards where I am now, which is more coaching and within the volleyball clubs. And but you're right, Milo. I think a good idea would be for any professional athlete to maybe make some videos. And what is the
Academy?
Is it ONET? But or I mean, is it not ONET?
Academy. Academy. You could teach on Academy.
Yeah, no, I understand that. What's the editing software one though?
Create.
Yeah. So Create's gonna be great. And then you could use Create, Capture to to go outside, do some professional
Absolutely.
videos, right? And then you upload them to Academy, and you got your whole thing paid for. Plus, you're gonna make money.
Right.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Julie.
So Doug, you are the ones that know more sports than many of us here on the screen. So I like what I like you to do is, instead of asking you the question how it is, I like you to be the coach, like be someone who, because you are in that arena, right? You're in that arena, you know the struggles of the coaches and the clubs that are going through, right? And then I like you to say, okay, this is what we need to do. We need to have something that help organize a team, for example, help, with the staff, keeping track of that. And once let's do one topic at a time. And then we're going to have Milo, Marty, Dan, everybody's kind of jam in that topic for about maybe 10, 15 minutes. And then we're going to go to another struggles, because you are the ones that been in that field, so that we can have kind of like discussion, so that how can we, let's OnPassive Products can help with that. So let's say, what's the first struggles that the coaches, sport coaches, that struggling with? Let's just do one at a time.
I would say personally, from the coaches rather than the club manager's position, is basically just dealing with your roster, sending out all the emails and stuff. I think, really coordinating a calendar. And I could see OnPassive helping in all this stuff in one spot. Right now, it's like, I got to go into Excel. I got my list. I got to copy my list every time I want to send an email, because I want to CC people. And I'm not that good at making like a group on my emails, and it's always changing. And some parents don't want to be on it, some do. So I think basically it's more communication to the parents. But I can also see, hey, I want to get, the kids aren't listening to something or other. Hey, I'll do a short little video. I'm going to create a little video and I'm going to email that right to them, like super quick. That's the thing. Right now, everything just takes so long to create.
Right. So let's have Milo and then Dan to go ahead and kind of, let's tackle that. How do we OnPassive Products, OnPassive, solve that struggles that he's facing?
Doug, the perfect thing for what you're talking about, and I used to run a lot of tournaments and stuff myself, and that was always a thing. You got to get the people, then you got to get the calendar, you got to make sure the umps are there, you got to line all this stuff up, right? Yep. How nice would it be to go into OMail, have that all separated out? You got all of your team, you could put them into one group. So when you send that out, you could send it out. Now, remember, you can send out 1 million emails at once. So if you're running a tournament or you got a team, you got all those teams in there that you build up over the years, you can send it out. Now, remember, in OMail, you also have a calendar. It's tied right to the calendar, so you can put it into the calendar, and you could have that. But it keeps you very well organized, and the CCBC, you can do all of them, but whatever you want to do. But the other cool thing, you said something there, that with regular email, it's tough to send out a video, okay? But did you know in OMail, it's unlimited. You can put a 24-hour video in there if you want to. Wow. Into that email. You can coach those kids from there. And remember, when you do a video and you do it once, that's all you got to do it, because they got that forever. You were talking about capture, create, you want that action shot of someone going up and ramming it down someone's throat, or you in the back digging one out, or whatever. You can get those action shots, and guess what? You can also write all across the picture whatever you want to. How cool is that? Those things will find their way into the magazines for you. Hope that helped.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
What about Dan? Thank you, Milo. Yep. What about Dan? Dan has his hand raised also.
Doug, I just think it's a great thing that you're doing, and I just think about what Ash was saying the other day. First of all, Ash pretty much humbled himself pretty well when he said he has a passion for learning, and he can hardly wait for Academy to open up, where he can look at all of the different courses, and he can continue to learn. So he's always learning. We're all always learning. We're all learning at the same time, and I'm excited about that too. But when you talk about your team and your sport, and he was talking also about creating that course. So you can have, you'll be able to set up the topics for the day, or let's say the workouts for the day. You have the attendance, you have maybe some little quizzes you can give them about some of the fundamentals that they're supposed to be learning, and you have an agenda folder, and you'll be able to show each one of them has completed their task. And that's just kind of continuing education in addition to the workouts that they have, and a progress bar along the way. So you can create folders within Academy, and you can publish that course. I mean, if you wanted to take it to the next level, you could take that course that you're developing and publish it to anybody, anywhere, sell it. You know.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
It's
like
amazing.
right now, I just have a set of standards.
Yeah,
written down. It's like, hey, here's what your kids are going to learn this year. You know,
yeah,
that'd be great to track it.
One of the quotes that Ash had the other day that just stuck in my mind was, "Your class is a fraction of something massive." So think about, that's just your class with volleyball, but it could just explode into all kinds of other things. That's just one product and one class and one sport, but you can just let your mind wander, and it's unlimited, the amount of potential. And I think that's why everybody's getting so excited. I'm excited.
So you got me more fired up,
I don't have
Dan.
any skills. I don't have any skills. I couldn't teach anybody anything. I don't know what I can teach them. You know?
I remember watching Dan at the very beginning of this. It was always he and Mike. That was funny.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's my 2 cents there. Good
No,
job.
that's great advice. Great.
Perfect. Thank you, Dan. I'm going to call on Marty, and then we're going to go back and ask Doug another questions or problems, and then we can have everyone's chimed in. So Marty, you are up next. If you could please add some more value to what has been shared so far.
I don't know if I can add value, but I want to say one thing, Doug.
Hang on, Marty. Can you stand up a little bit?
I'm standing up. How's that?
There you go.
All right. What I wanted to say, Doug, if you were ranked in volleyball at 5 foot something, you must be a freaking kangaroo. Okay. And, congratulations for sure. I loved volleyball. It was one of my favorite sports, believe it or not.
Oh,
But
great.
like Dan was saying, you know, there's such a big picture in OnPassive what you could do, especially coaches. You know, you look at our staff and you say, well, staff is for a business. Our staff's for whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
The word staff, you got staff in sports, you got staff in music, you got whatever you want to do, you can modify it. And when you make a course or you're training or whatever you're doing, you put that in, and anytime when somebody wants to go through that course, you give them a little freebie in the beginning and maybe charge a little bit. And like Ash said the other day, 1% of 100 million people, pretty good chunk of change, man. And,
Yes.
and you know, without a doubt, there's other people on OnPassive right now, and they haven't marketed to the world yet, that absolutely love volleyball.
Yep.
Absolutely love it. And coaches are struggling. I don't care what sport it is. I don't need to know. I know they struggle. They struggle to get money. They struggle to get uniforms. They struggle to get sponsoring. When you get into a place like OnPassive with a platform like this, where apples aren't going to be such a problem, and then somebody can go after their passion, lights out, Doug, lights out. And there's no limit, like you said. People always want to look at the title and go, well, that won't work in volleyball. It will work. And you can set up anything you want, a video, a responder to somebody. And as they're going through the course, you'll also be able to know who got how far, right? And they'll know. So when they come back, I left off on video number 3. I left off on video number 4. I left off on 7. And they can go to this course, and they're going to recommend it to other friends, because on a volleyball team, there's more than one guy, if I remember right. So it'll just spread and spread and spread. that kind of sport or any other kind of sport. So it's mind blowing what could happen. I know that people have been looking at OnPassive one dimensional. They look at the name, okay, that's only good for this. And that's not the case. You can do a lot with it. And
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys are talking about sports today. So
And that's why I'm so excited about this to come out, because I wrote back in 2008, back when the economy was bad, I go, okay, I'm a professional. I'm going to write an ebook. I wrote like a 60-page ebook, and I'm horrible with marketing, horrible. Right. But I think with the OnPassive system, it's going to help me market that. I got to update it, but Marty, I'm going to send you a free copy of that.
Very good. Yeah, the sky's the limit with OnPassive, no doubt. And you've got stuff to offer, and there's people that want to hear it. Believe it or not. You see in any other market like Facebook and all that, it's cluttered. People don't know each other. Here, you put in sports and then volleyball. Come on, there's going to be thousands of people that love it. You can put in archery, you can put in basketball, you can put in, and you look like you're in pretty good shape. So I'm sure you play other things. There's Little League. Oh yeah. I used to have one of those when I was 7. No, I'm just kidding, Doug. No, no, but you know what I mean. The sky's the limit, man. Sky's the limit.
Is.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much. All right. I'm going to call on Tony, and then after Tony, I'm going to prompt another topic and we all can discuss about that. So Tony, you are next.
Thank you, Julie. I appreciate that. Yeah, very, very good advice, everyone. Hi, Doug. How you doing?
Hi, good.
I'm Tony Monk. Yeah, the marketing part of it is just the beginning. I mean, it's huge, right? You can automate this and turn it into a course and sell it on Ocademy. And yeah, just automate it and sell it over and over again. You have to remember the traffic that we have is automated, guaranteed traffic, and they're guaranteed to look for what it is that you've got selling. So if you got a course in selling about or teaching volleyball, for example, you can automate that and sell it over and over and over again. You have to remember we have billions of people on the planet that are looking for certain things, right? I don't know how big the volleyball industry is, but if it's huge and it's in the
internationally it's like right up there just below soccer. I mean, it's okay. Very, very popular outside of the US.
So you've got that amount of people, and because OnPassive is a master at traffic, right? They're going to bring in the targeted people that are looking for exactly what you're selling. So I hope this is going to be your passion, because you're going to make a heck of a lot more apples with OnPassive, right? You know that, right?
Oh yeah, can't wait for that. Can't wait to shake that apple.
Yeah, absolutely, buddy. Nice meeting you. Thanks.
You too.
Awesome. Milo?
Yeah, Doug, wanted to bring up a couple other things. One is also, just so you know, you don't have to charge for the thing. Remember, you'll still make money because people go in, or they're driving traffic to your site, and all the time. This is the cool thing about OnPassive that I love. All the time they're doing that, you're getting commission because people's buying it because they're coming there to see volleyball, but all of a sudden they see this whole big other thing. Now, one other thing we didn't discuss is Shop. Shop, if you have any merchandise, you got a shirt, a nice shirt, because those beach volleyball guys always got these nice shirts and bright and all that, caps and anything like that. Remember, that will also be targeted, that you can sell. And as you grow that brand, that's going to be your brand. As you grow that brand, remember, people's going to want your stuff. And like Tony was saying, it's driving that targeted traffic, and Marty was saying it also, so you don't have to do the work. It actually drives the traffic. But same way with your Shop, man, there's just so many things when you sit down and you look at all of it. It's going to keep you organized. You're going to have a way to get a hold of people. At the same time, it's bringing people to you. If you're trying to build teams, it will do that. If you're Ocademy and you're teaching classes, you can do that, and you can make it evergreen, where it teaches every time, and you can get some of the best volleyball players around. Because remember, if you're teaching them, you can put together teams where you go out and you get sponsors and then go around the world if you want to. I think one of the things that I think that's going to be huge with OnPassive is most of the people doing OnPassive will no longer do anything that they're not passionate about. So in other words, if you don't love volleyball, why would you do it, right? But I see that you love volleyball, so you want to do it, but sometimes because the money might not be there, you might not be able to do it. Whereas this way, you know, you get them apples coming in, all of a sudden it makes it easy for you to be passionate. I think that it's going to change the whole concept of now people are going to be passionate about whatever they're doing. And whenever you're passionate, it's always better.
Yep.
Hey, Milo, can I throw
It's so
another
easy.
thing in there?
What's that?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, I'm sorry, hold on 2 seconds. I just wanted to say one more thing. Hold on 2 seconds. Can you hear me?
Yes,
We can hear you.
Think about all the people that you're selling the book to, the course to, all the volleyball stuff to. Each one of those people has a potential of also becoming an independent reseller.
Absolutely.
Also becoming, the founder's going to leave. And if each one of these people become an independent reseller, you're also getting another stream of income from that. So
it's incredible. I mean, it's just any contact you have, if you could just get them to listen to you for a second or send a, like I remember Ash told us, hey, you send out a video and like some guy's 10,000 on YouTube, right? He's got 10,000 followers on YouTube, right? What if once a week he had his followers post on OnPassive? And even a fraction of those guys, in order to see the actual video, they have to join OnPassive, like with their email or whatever, and then it automatically markets to them, which is like, hey, I'm such a bad marketer of myself that it's going to be a cakewalk.
Yeah, and now you're going to be a pro and you're going to be a hero to all these peoples, right? Here's one thing that I'm so excited to, Doug, and touch on that just a little bit, is that you know how when our kids or when the kids playing volleyball or playing games, we're parents, everybody's have to buy tickets to go watch it, right? Now with OnPassive, with everything that we are talking about, you don't have to charge the ticket, or maybe you only charge the portion of it, right? And then you have all these merchandise that you create, and you have your books, all the materials. They could spend money and buy that instead. You know, there are so much possibilities of what OnPassive can create and provide it to a business owner. So I wanted to bring in another topic, all right, about the management side of the clubs. Any clubs, any sport clubs has the management portion of it. So let's talk about that. And let's everyone kind of like chime in and focusing on that side of it. So let's focus on management clubs. So I'll start it with you, Doug.
Okay, well, right now the struggle, and you could kind of ask other coaches from other clubs, like, hey, how does your manager actually, you know, do they manage the club that well? And the answers I always get are no. You know, it's unorganized, it's this or that. You know, these guys, they have to take care of, they have to get tuition from all the players, right? They have to contact all the parents on any little change. Like last week, we switched the schedules from instead of Monday and Wednesday to Monday and Thursday. We had to, they gotta let's see, collect the money, do that, and then they got to order all the uniforms, right? And they got to post every week, like, hey, who's playing where and at what times and who do they play against and this and that. And we have to go to so many, I mean, I'm not the manager of this club, but I have a feeling I could do a little better. I don't want to knock him if he's in OnPassive. No. But but then you have to take care of all your staff. So you gotta have payroll and stuff. So staff is going to be so beneficial for this. But I don't know. I mean, I've listened to the webinars on staff and stuff, and I've never been a human resource guy, but it seems like it just has everything to offer where they could just manage everything and just sit down and save so much time of what I know they hate to do is to go and answer the emails, and stuff like that. But just to be able to go to one spot and have it all there and send it out for information purposes to the club, it would run that much smoother because the communication is horrible.
Absolutely. There's so much. And now I'm gonna bring it back to Milo for him to talk about how some of the products of OnPassive can help with the management side of it. Milo?
Absolutely, Julie. And I mean, we touched on some of them already, but when you talk about, you give them a system called OMail where they can blast out exactly what you're talking about. And remember, it's also built with autoresponders. So say if you do have a change and someone comes in with it, it will auto respond back to them. If someone has a question, there's no need for that manager to have to answer that question 50 times because everyone's got the same question. Hey, are we playing today? It's raining, or it looks like it's going to rain. You don't have to do that because remember, all they got to do is go in there, send an email. Hey, and it says, hey, if it says that, send them back this thing. No, we're not playing today, or yes, we're playing, or you show up at this time, or whatever. So autoresponders are going to be a big thing in the email. Remember, you've already got your system built up where you've got all the people's names in it. You've got the parents' names. You've got the contacts. Sometimes they might have 3 or 4 different contacts. And if you're looking through all this paperwork trying to find where it is, that becomes an issue, so it's going to save you time. Anytime you can save time, you're going to save money, and the calendars are great. You put it in the calendar, say, here's who's on, here's our officials for today. Or, I need to make sure I contact them, make sure they're there. All this kind of stuff comes into play with that manager, and this will all keep him in line, just almost anything that you want. And there again, we talk about the Academy. He can use that to help build that team, to build people up. He takes your thing and, people are coming there and all of a sudden it says, hey, contact the manager, if you want to sign up or however you do it, but that all guides everything back to it, and I just see it as helping in so many ways, even in the managerial. Okay, so let's talk about uniforms. Okay, the manager is probably the one that gets all the uniforms for all the teams, correct? So
Yes,
how
sir.
cool is it, instead of going to an outside source and buying your uniforms, that we have OShop made up with whatever that name is. Okay, we got OShop, and guess what? All you got to do is go in there and click, and you get the uniforms for the team. You send the team, hey, here's where you go get them. Now, what about the parents that want a coat that says their kid is number 27 or whatever?
Yeah.
That can be in there. Hats can be in there, so you're keeping everything in with you. It allows you to, once you do that marketing, man, you just build that brand and you just keep building the brand. That's how I see it could help a lot.
Mhm.
Absolutely. That's pretty cool. There's so many products, right? I'm going to call on Tony and then I'm going to add one more point and then we can move on to the next topic. So Tony.
Thank you, Julie. I appreciate that. Yeah, I was just going to reiterate what Milo was just pretty much saying. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of products. There's Academy, where you can teach and learn volleyball. There's Staff, which is a human resources platform. There's Desk, right? Don't forget, there's also Bless. If you want to raise money to take the kids somewhere else, someplace around the world, you can raise money on Bless to do that as well.
And it's also good for fixing the equipment.
Exactly. Yeah, so we've got everything in OnPassive. I mean, all the products you can pretty much think of. Connect is another one too. that you can connect with them like on the Zoom call like we're doing here, right? Yeah, and the autoresponder is absolutely amazing. If you have a huge team of kids around the world and you're trying to get an email out to them, it's going to be sent to them in a snap of a finger, right? Simultaneously to all team members. So yeah, pretty much every product you can probably think of, you can probably use towards this this particular game. That and I love volleyball, by the way. I used to love volleyball when I was younger. I'm just overweight right now. I'm probably not that good anymore. But
that's my problem
maybe you
too.
can teach me, Doug.
I'm vertically challenged now.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Judy. I appreciate that.
All right, thank you, Tony. Milo, do you have your hand raised?
I do. One other thing that I just thought of when Tony was saying, Connect. Remember, don't forget, Connect. You can play 24-hour videos if you want to. Okay, so how cool is that for grandma and grandpa that's 3 states away to be able to watch their grandchildren play? Do you think they would like to have it? I can assure you that they would. They come to OnPassive. Remember, when they come to OnPassive, they get a steady dose of being marketed to OnPassive. They're going to find something that they like. They're going to realize they like Connect because they can watch their grandchild play, you know, in almost like a TV that you know, hey, the game's on, you know, bring all my friends over and stuff because the game's on and you can run them now on big screens or whatever. You know, Connect is going to be another thing that will bring people together and be good for us.
Absolutely, no doubt about that. I wanted to bring on another topic, Doug, because when my daughter was in sports, one was in volleyball, the other one was in gymnastics, right? Travel, go on competitions, right? There are so many pieces that involve. Uniform is one that Milo brought up. Traveling, where all the lodging, all the meals, and the practicing schedule. Please talk about it. What do you see the struggles in there that all the club owners, sport coaches, and every managers or supervisors are struggling?
I mean, currently there's in the leagues that we're in, they have to go, like, let's say we went to Chicago for like a big national qualifier or something. It's like, okay, well, everybody, it's called stay and play. You have to, your club has to order a certain amount of rooms. You know, I think 70% of your team has to stay at the hotels that they offer or something like that. But I don't know if that's a struggle, but just, I mean, signing up and just getting the word out. I mean, right now it's like, okay, somebody like our manager's assistant sent out a club-wide email about these tournaments in Vegas that, you know, are in April, but she sent it out in November and said, hey, get your hotel rooms. Here's the link. But it would be great to like walk them through it, you know, and you could create a little video and just, you know, while you're just on the app, oh, okay, I'm going to sign up. Here's how I sign up. And you go in there, and then you could edit out any of your important information. You could kind of hide it real quickly, and then produce it and just say, oh, and here's an example of how you sign up. And it would get rid of so many questions to the coaches that don't even know the stuff, which they shouldn't need to. But for the management to just like have a peaceful day once in a while without all these questions being flung at them at the last second, you know?
I think I so agree with you. And I think to organize a group of people to travel to one place, there's so many pieces to it. For me, it's like I'm more talking about the organizations of travel, you know, of traveling team plays and who's showing up, who's not. I mean, you have to follow a certain kind of protocol for the team. Not only that, protocol from the states that you have to follow, you know, through this pandemic, you have all kinds of things that you have to put together. What I see is that Desk, you can help you organize it. You know, Staff, obviously we have the managerial part in there. anyone like to add more into it? Dan, Milo, anyone here that wants to add more into that piece of puzzle that we're trying to put together?
I will. I see this as a, once again, I see if you were to take whatever your team is or your brand, your thing, and you put a spot in for them and people sign up underneath that, I think that would eliminate all the things. And I feel sorry, I'll tell you right now, I used to do a lot with sports and with kids and stuff like that. And a lot of it wasn't near as bad as it is now with all this things, the money you got to pay. And, you know, whether it's volleyballs, you know, I don't know what a volleyball costs, but I'm sure every kid's got to have a volleyball. Every kid's got to have this, they got to have that. How cool is it that is if you had over time, now it won't happen right away, but say you start bringing in people and they start bringing in their grandparents and they start bringing in this one and that one that wants to watch the game. And all of a sudden they're watching these kids. Guess what that's doing? That's building the funds up so that you could pay for all the rooms, you know, and when you pay for all the rooms, are you going to have a lot better team? Absolutely. You're going to have a lot better team because you can get whoever, probably a lot more kids involved and it becomes bigger, you know, and so you can have more. But whenever you take that away from children or their parents, because it is a tough world right now. And there's a lot of people struggling, you know, to try to make ends meet. So when we can do something like that, and I like to say, you know, I almost look at OnPassive now, not really as a business, but as a humanitarian type movement, you know, that we're able to help people. And, you know, I love talking about stuff like this because it gets my mind going, you know, what can we do to help this? How can we help it? And man, just by buying a spot, I believe that's going to eliminate a lot of that problem. You know, now you don't have to worry about them thing and you just send in a thing, hey, I need 20 rooms, you know, boom, and you pay for it. You know what I'm saying? And then
hey, a couple things just came to my mind the way you were talking there. And if you think about it right now, I mean, each kid here and probably all across the country that's playing volleyball, and I know there's some nonprofit clubs as well, but it's costing these parents anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000 a year, especially if you're on a good team and you're traveling a lot. It's going to cost a little more. And how sweet would it be to get the manager of the club to buy into OnPassive? First of all, he'd be under me. And then right at the beginning, you could basically, if everybody joins OnPassive, it basically will pay for itself, and they're going to make money off of it, and they're going to use it for other businesses. And you're just tapping into, I mean, we got to have probably like 250 kids in the program, you know, and there's, I mean, you guys should see when you go to Las Vegas, there's 100 courts long, 100 courts at least. I think it's like 120 courts, and there's 24 kids on each court. I mean, if that could just get these guys to do free volleyball, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
And because there's a lot of people that struggle with that. Oh, I can't afford club. I'm not going to play, you know, like Julie.
Go ahead, let Milo speak to that, and then I'll add my part to it.
Doug, let me ask you one question. Do you think that if you told your manager about it and he signed on, do you think when you went to tournaments and people seen you paying for rooms and paying for volleyballs and stuff, do you think there might be any other teams that might be interested?
Yeah, like it would get the word out, like, oh my gosh, this club is so cheap. I'm bringing my kids there, and it will end up being the best club.
Well, even if they don't, think about this. What if they brought their team to OnPassive and now they're doing the same thing? Is that going to help your team? Absolutely. Whoever gets in first is so far of everyone else, right? Because now you get in, you teach them what you're doing, how you're making money, you know, and how you're treating your children. Everyone in the world's going to want their kids treated just like that. So they're going to say, how did you do it? It's a great way to say, hey, you know, this little thing called ONPASSIVE that I got in, right? So I think it will just explode.
Absolutely. You know what, Doug, you brought up the point that parents who paying for kids that join club, right? My daughter joined gymnastic clubs ever since she was about 4 years old, right? Every month, $1,000 fee out of my pocket,
Wow.
paying for her gymnastic. Not only that, a jacket, just a normal jacket, right? With the label, with some sparkly label on it. I paid $325 for that jacket. I wouldn't even spend something like that for me, right? $1,000 out of pocket. Every time when we go travel, I have to buy my own hotel room, obviously, travel, all those travel expenses, right? The kids having fun, right? Whether or not they win or lose, they're having a blast, but parents are the ones that are suffering, right? So the reason why I brought this up, and I know you play volleyball. My daughter wants to play volleyball. My daughter, 11, she wants to play volleyball. And we all know who lives here. We know the best club here, right? But I can't afford to pay for it. I bet you. When OnPassive, bringing the apples to my pocket, that's where I'm putting my daughter, right? That's where I want to put them in the sports that they want to play. You know, it doesn't matter as long as I can get them out and play with any kind of sport. And that's a dream of so many parents to want to put their kids on some sport teams, right? Dan, I saw your hand raised. I'd like you to speak what's
I just heard you talking about different sports. I mean, volleyball's one thing, but I just have a lot of friends that and I'm sure a lot of you do too, that have kids that play hockey. Oh my gosh. There aren't hockey, there's an ice. They got to go find ice, and if they're gonna find that ice, they got to find it at 3 o'clock in the morning. So parents are traveling all over the place to try and find ice, and the equipment for hockey is there you go, Tim Dillon. is crazy. So yeah, the expenses for the parents, it seems like in the old days everything was provided, but now it all goes on the parents. And you might have some really good athletes out there that really want to play and are very talented, and they can't because their parents can't afford it. And so what a great spot for Bless, you know, to help some of those parents out. And it's just endless, the kind of things that OnPassive can do for all these parents, and getting them involved with as an independent reseller or a founder very soon. They have a limited time to do that, but it's just amazing the opportunities that are available to help kids and parents and everybody with this company. So
absolutely,
that's all I had.
Thank you so much. And, you know, we're talking about gymnastics, we're talking about volleyball here, there's basketball. Flor Dane in Colorado, you know, her kid is playing lacrosse, you know, basketball, tennis, I mean, swimming, all kinds of sport out there that we actually can help. And if your team, Doug, or anyone's team that have the ability to have these children joining in the team for a portion amount of money to pay, I mean, imagine how excited it is. Now, the coaches, the parents, the kids, all their focus is their passion, not how hard it is that I have to come up with the money to pay for this sport or that sport, right? You know, so I'm going to send it over to Tim and then to Marty, and then I'm going to check on your time, Doug.
But one note on that is, once you get the parents in, like through the email system or whatever, it's like, then they're going to see, wow, this is a very useful application. I might put this into my business.
Exactly.
And then that will just snowball.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm going to call in Tim Dillon.
Thank you, Julie. Doug, great story.
I thought you were golfing.
Well, that's my passion. And I know a lot of golf professionals. And with the number of golf courses in my local area, they are always running tournaments to raise money for this, to raise money for that. I see this as a big help for them to get people involved in those tournaments and to get people to show up. I see that it real big. And we also have midget football. We also have, Little League. And they are all suffering, not only from the pandemic, but just lack of interest. If they can get the word out to the public and draw people into these, maybe they will be able to grow and get bigger so the kids have more fun. The parents have more fun. Grandparents have more fun. The whole bit. But I see this being in golf. Oh my goodness. This could be huge. And it goes beyond the local level. It could go professional.
Absolutely. I'll be the first student for golf, whoever here in Orange County. I'll enroll myself in.
I already golfed twice this week.
Ah.
I wish it was warm enough here.
Gotta come visit.
Yeah, sure. All right, I'm gonna have Milo. I'm sorry, Marty, if you could please unmute your mic, Marty.
Yeah, another thing while we were talking, I was thinking, to get parents and other coaches and everybody to stay up, involved in what's going on. What also you could do is, as you're talking to parents and coaches and trainers or whatever you have, you tell them to stay plugged in. Come join me in this group, and that group happens to be an ONET. So when they come in, now they're part of your team. There's also part of your team in OnPassive. And then at that point, when they do decide, this might help in my business, this might help, or that might help, they're already plugged into you for the rest of your life. It could mean a really, really big deal. And if you look at it that way, especially like with emails and all that, who gets them, who doesn't get them. But if you made a post in your group in ONET, they're going to automatically get a notification. Doug put something up in there, and they're going to go see what it is. Now, as their kids get older and the other kids, they're going to bring their kids in, because they're not coming in thinking it's a business, because the part they're using is communication. But in reality, you're also going to get money in the hands of other coaches, other parents who can buy these jackets and uniforms and all the sports equipment and all that. So it's really, really big. I mean, there's no end to what we could put together with OnPassive for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The possibilities in OnPassive is endless. All right. I see Peter Rogers in the house. Peter, if you would please raise your hand, unmute your mic.
Hi, everybody. What a
Hello.
great webinar. I just want to give my 10 pennies worth. I'm a black belt at Taekwondo. I've been a black belt now for 20 years. I've run my own clubs, and I've taught people from white belt up to black belt level. And what some of you guys are saying, what Doug's saying about implementing this, these ideas into different organizations, different clubs. We've got 1 million founders here, and there's 1 million founders. Out of those 1 million founders, there's going to be a lot of people who are obviously involved in different sort of organizations, sports. So, we can implement this across the board. There's so many things that can happen, we can use with OnPassive into these organizations. it's just phenomenal. I just want to say that this is, just what we're talking about here is just a little minute thing really on passive. This just shows how big OnPassive is going to be. That's what I really want to say. And just to give you an example, I mean, I've been involved in this, as I said, for a long time, since for 3 years now, 3.5 years, and I've actually got a thinking back now. I mean, I one of my positions, I put a position for Taekwondo. And it's Peter Rogers Taekwondo, TKD, gmail.com. And I put that, in ready to do this sort of thing, for this, what we're talking about. So it's great to sort of know over the years that this is coming. And, so I just wanted to say that really. So thank you for letting me speak. Okay.
Thank you, Peter. It's good to see you. Milo, do you want to add some more point to it?
Yeah, Peter, that was a great thing you just said. And I was just thinking that when I think it was Dan said about, Dan said about hockey and Tim said about golf. Remember, no matter what it is, sports wise or whatever, you got dancing clubs, you got Little League, you got Major League, you got high school baseball, high school football, basketball, any sport whatsoever, this will work on. So expand your mind and think about it. Think about how it will help. And if you have any questions afterwards or something and you want to text me or call me or something, I love helping people come up with ways. How will it help? I used to run a lot of tournaments, and what Tim was saying, this will do wonders for tournaments. I used to run softball tournaments back in the days. Men's softball slow pitch was very big, and I would draw people from Indiana, Michigan, Illinois to come to my tournaments. And why did that happen? Because I run a good, clean tournament. I never cut corners on trophies. I had the biggest trophies that you could have. I also hired the best umps. There's places you cannot cut corners. And once you start running a good program, you don't have to, you got to keep people out. In other words, there's not room for everyone. Same way with umps. I never had to worry about getting a good ump there because I paid them well. They all wanted to do my tournaments because I run a tournament, I run it on time, it was scheduled. This will take care of all of that. And that's same way with if you're running a golf tournament. You're running a golf tournament and you want to raise money, there's no better way than to have an OnPassive involved in it. There is no better way, so just keep your minds open for something like that. Doug, go ahead.
Hey, I just got a question for you guys because you know way more than I do. Isn't there a thing like let's say you are running a tournament, because sometimes I'll run these beach tournaments and we get about 60 people joining. Is there a way to do pay? Is that something like how do they pay for the tournament? You know what I mean?
As long as
and if they do pay, that should automatically right there say, hey, because right now you could do Venmo or whatever, but you go, okay, try this new app, pay, boom. Once they pay, then they're in your marketing deal. I mean, is that right?
So right now we don't have the OPay right yet,
Not
right?
yet, not yet.
But
we have
think about the wallet.
Oh,
think
wallet,
about
yeah,
wallet, right?
That's what it is.
So the only people can use wallet, they have to be in OnPassive, either founders or customers or, they have to have a wallet. So it's really easy. All you got to do is make the payment just like that. They have to have the wallet. Milo, do you want to add more to it?
Well, I was just going to say, whenever they use wallet, remember the benefit to using anything OnPassive, you're getting paid for it. Oh, yeah. So once people see that, you only have to have one come in and you start sending him his pay. and he automatically gets his pay right now. And the other guy's waiting for his check to come in. I don't know if you send checks by the mail or however you do it, but you know, maybe they're waiting for theirs to come in, or it's more of a hassle than this guy. But all of a sudden, this guy over here with wallet looks in his wallet and he says, man, he says, I got 200 extra apples in here. Do you think that's going to get around to the other guys? Absolutely. Yep. You know, and I do believe that once this OnPassive hits and that first nickel drops into someone's wallet, it is lights out, because everyone at that point is going to want to get in because they know that that money is going to be coming in. Yeah. My opinion.
But do you guys, do you see how that can work for a tournament that you're hosting for them?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Wallet would be a great thing to not only to pay your players, but what about the referees?
Yeah, but I mean, no, I mean, I'm talking about for them to pay an entry fee.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
they could pay right in. And actually, you know what you could do is give them a discount. You know, maybe jack the other pay up a little bit and give them a discount, or give them a discount.
That's a good idea.
Remember,
good idea.
If you give them a discount, now they get wallet, you're going to get paid every month for that.
The rest of your life.
Because commission coming out. Yeah.
Hey, Milo.
Yes, sir.
You could do that very easily, but what about this? I'm running a golf tournament and I want the proceeds. They're going to go to a certain charity. Why can't I tie it to Bless?
truly, you could do whatever you want when you have the tools in your hand. It's really based up on, it's really up on you. It's really up to you to do whatever you want. I
only say that, Julie, because sometimes the golf tournament fills up, but there might still be people out there that want to donate to the cause.
Exactly. I think it's really up to you once you have all the tools and all the possibilities. I see possibilities. Anything you can think of, it can happen, right?
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, anything you can think of. So right now, Doug has about 10 minutes. I want to hear from Niraj, though. He just jumped into the panel. I'd like to hear from Niraj, and then we're going to send it back to Doug because I know he has about 10 minutes. So Niraj, I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, I'm from India, so I can't talk much about golf tournament, but I can talk about my national sport, which is cricket. And people are crazy about cricket, but there are a lot of other sports where people are very much interested. For example, India has not got much medals in Olympics, and the participation from the government is limited. The funds that they give to Indian athletes. And I think OBLIS will be a wonderful thing where all the people from India can actually contribute towards the infrastructure so that the Indian athletes actually get better facilities and they go to the Olympics well prepared with all at level with all the other athletes in the world. That is one thing I can think of. Second thing is about merchandise. And third thing, I actually know a lot of athletes who have a very good profession, and then they spend a lot of money, and then they become very poor. So that is one thing I would actually tell them to put the maybe the coach can drive can invest their money in OnPassive. So even if even if they retire, they will always have income coming. So these are three things I can actually think of. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Niraj, for your contribution. You know, I was going to bring up the topic fundraising, but we all kind of tap into it a little bit more here and there. What I'm picturing, Doug, and everyone who are having a team, you know, all it is that you could buy an extra position, right? An extra founder position and designate it into your own oblast. It's not necessarily the company oblast, but it's like the team oblast, right? Because, you know, when travel come to clubs and traveling for kids, it costs so much money. Their families cannot travel because they couldn't afford it. But if we have a little fund that's set aside for that individual club, you know, I think it's going to be great. At the end of the day, everybody's traveling, play sports, and doing it. It's a quality of life that people are doing it instead of about worrying money. So that's something that I wanted to add on to it and kind of wrap up our discussions. Doug, thank you for being here. I know you got to go, but anything else that you feel that's, you know, other coaches, other sports managers and supervisors can find something that we can help here on Passive can help?
I can't right now really think of anything. Drawing a blank, Julie, drawing a blank.
That's all right. That's all right.
But I like Niraj's good points, Niraj. And did you know, Niraj, that this past week in the PGA, the guy, even though he's from Orange County originally, which is where Julie and I live, he looks Indian to me. He almost won, but look for him. He's going to get very popular very fast.
Niraj, you here?
He probably went to bed. Oh, no.
Yes. No, I'm here.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Milo, I see your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell Doug, thanks so much for coming today and opening up and asking us. Hopefully, were we able to add any value to you?
Oh yeah, you guys open up my mind of just like, I mean, now it's even rolling even more like, hey, I got to get off my butt and start talking to these guys, you know, because I mean, just because I know like 3 or 4 club managers, maybe even 6, that can use this, and hopefully you guys are recording this.
Oh, absolutely. I'll send it to you when we're done.
I might have to just send it to them and they can look at it, because I really think, you know, it'd probably be like if they got in now and then hopefully it's all ready to go by the next season, which is like right around Labor Day, just after Labor Day. So probably
Think of
October.
possibilities.
Then they can use it this next year, and that'd be awesome for them. So I might even have to buy them each a membership, you know, because he'll pay back like 20 times. I mean,
many times, absolutely. And like I said before, you know, I see this spreading from team to team to team to team, you know, and getting real big that you can push it. But once again, I want to thank you for coming today. You added a lot of value to it also. And so we'd like to thank you for coming to the Julie and Milo show.
right. And thank you guys for doing everything that you guys do. It's awesome. And you, Marty, you're the man.
Right.
Awesome, Doug. Thanks so much for coming on. I'll see you next time when I see you.
I enjoyed it.
Awesome. Thanks so much, everyone. If you are listening to the conversations, you do understand the fact that we bring some values up. We bring some more, you know, just kind of like looking at OnPassive in different directions, in different angle, right? So if you hear this and you happen to know someone that in that arena, it is something that you want to take this and share it with other people. We do live stream across, you know, in OnPassive YouTube channel, OnPassive Nation, Marty DeGamo, Bill Musk, Red Redfern, and especially for all of our guests here, we're from the Julie and Milo show, and we do have the channel that actually watching live stream here as well. We appreciate everyone's that watching and everyone's that participate in here. It's really easy to share, and not only to share OnPassive, but really think about OnPassive outside of what we're seeing so far. Because when you come to these discussions, I guarantee you probably have some light bulb movement that actually kind of like lit up, like makes you really, you know, think about it, right? Am I right, Milo?
That's right.
All right. Let's have our panelists here. If you like to add more to what we're discussing so far, any questions that we may help, not we as Milo and I, but everyone here can add into what you're thinking of. And then this coming Saturday, we are going to discuss how OnPassive could help with churches, pastors, temples, anything you can think of, charities. We'll talk about that on Saturday. And then on Wednesday next week, we're going to talk about real estate, how OnPassive can help with real estate agents, real estate company, loan officers, escrow company, anything you can think of in that arena. We wanted to bring that discussions on the table in the next couple of weeks, and we have other topics coming. So plug
That's two
in.
big ones, Julie. That's two real big ones.
Yes,
Churches
very
and
big.
realtors are big.
Absolutely.
Don't
Let's
want to
hear.
miss those.
Hey, Julie, can I say something?
Oh, absolutely, Marty. Always.
Yeah, I just gotta know, this lady Dixie looks just like Tai Young, and I want to know how this is possible.
OMG. All right, Harold, if you could please let me call on Dixie. That looks like Tai Young really quick before I can get you. Harold, thank you so much. All right.
There's some ideas you guys just like provoked in me.
Are you
I never thought of
answering
it.
Marty first?
What?
Why are you look like Tai Young, but your name is Dixie Googled or
Yeah, I'm over at George's mom's house right now.
ah,
This is a bedroom.
yes. Go ahead, Ty. Go ahead.
It's a
Ty.
rich person's house. Hey, anyway, gaming systems, right? I was thinking like, I've seen a lot of the YouTubers, right, doing a lot of gaming stuff. And they got this guy that likes to give money to people, just like randomly give money to people in their gaming systems. And I thought, well, what if we could have a game system where people can win a position on passive, you know, or some kind of roller skating rink, right? Is anybody ever went to roller skating, right? You'd have like kid thoughts or thoughts about when you went roller skating and all that, right? Well, anyway, I had thoughts about all the people that are coming into the roller skating rink, somehow set it up to where they can get in on passive somehow too. But I wouldn't know exactly how, but I'm just saying, be able to help kids' families, because I've seen a lot of poor kids come into those places that don't have nothing, you know, and they come in broke and dirty and grungy, and they even told me, kids even told me that their personal situations, you know what I mean, where they can't even afford the clothes to look nice in the roller skating rink. Anyway, the roller skating rink here in Canton, not too far away from here, they have a big old game room, and they have all kind of bumper cars and all kind of stuff, but you can win tokens, right? And so I was thinking maybe we could have some kind of gaming system where people can win tokens for positions on passive or something like that, you know. It's just some ideas anyway. I don't know. You guys are talking about sports and that. I'm like, well, I know a lot of people that gamble, you know, and do a lot of gambling and stuff. So too. So I don't know. I don't know. I just got some ideas. That's all.
All right. There's ways to do that, Ty. We'll talk about that shortly. Harold, go ahead, Harold.
Okay, hello everyone. I've been in OnPassive since May 19, and my whole perspective on the business itself was business. Never thought about athletics. I'm a former professional basketball player, and the possibilities are endless. I mean, just listening to him talk about volleyball, and I put it in the perspective of basketball and various other sports. man, there's so many things that you could do. The kids have parents, and parents need help, and it just goes on, and one thing leads to another. And he just woo, slapped me in the face and said, "Wake up!" That was awesome. I really enjoyed the program tonight.
Thank you so much, Harold. Really, truly, what our goal, our purpose of the Julie and Milo show is just to help kind of like, you know, I look at things differently in different angle, right? So I use the struggles, or I use the obstacle or the problems I have in life, and I'm searching for solutions, right? So one of the things that I'm struggles is to be able to put my daughters in the sports that they want to play, right? My daughter who is in college, who so want to play volleyball, right? But being a mom right now, I'm focusing on, you know, try to, you know, let them go to school and do everything I could. That is an extra money that we all require to have in order for them to join clubs. So if any ones that are parents, right, this is it. If you're raising little child who's active, who wants to go out there and just keep playing, who knows, future athletes right there. So all you got to do is basically take what you hear here. You don't have to explain it to anyone. Take this video and go out and share with other people. And I believe it's going to help other people to chime into, hey, you know what? I can use OnPassive to do this. I can start my own little league, right? I can do that in my local community. It's endless. It's truly endless. So yeah, there's a lot of homework for you, Harold. All right. Milo, I think you want to address Ty, is that it?
Yes, I would like to actually, and Harold too, you know, and the thing about this, the thing that we want to do with when we talk about something like this, it's all about exactly what happened to Harold. Because we were talking about something else, Harold's mind was opened up to something, and he realized that, hey, what if I could do that? Which, Harold, there's a ton of things you can do. I think you said you was a professional basketball player. And if your passion is basketball and you want to help kids, what better way than start Academy, where who's not going to want to send their kid to a professional basketball player to learn? And, you know, whether you charge or whether you don't, it doesn't matter, because remember, you're still going to get those apples because of the people coming in. And that commission at the end of the month, I don't care what it is, it's going to outweigh whatever you could charge. Okay. That's my feeling. Not that you could charge too, you know, whatever you want to do. Now, I want to go back to Ty, because Ty brings up something that's very challenging, you know, and has anyone thought of it? You know, when he brought it up, I haven't really thought of it, but I can see how it would work. Ty, what if you started a competition? So you're I believe it, correct me if I'm wrong, but you want to get some kind of tournament going or something with these people with PlayStations or whatever, and they want to do. So what happens if you charge an entry fee to get into this? Maybe $50 or whatever to get in. But the prize is that if you win, you get one spot, which is worth, or you get two spots, which is worth $400, or you can take $200 cash, whichever you want to do. Okay. Now you're going to win both ways, because the person coming in that takes two spots realizes that $400 is going to grow much bigger. And guess what? When it grows much bigger, guess who else it grows for? It grows for you. That is the beauty of OnPassive. And we used to, and I say this all the time, and I'm sorry for repeating myself, but we used to sing a song in church, said there's joy in giving. And I found it to be true that the more you give to Jesus, the more he's going to give back to you. And OnPassive is this same way, that I don't care, you know, when you give and you give a spot to someone, remember, you can never lose on that, because that is like buying a winning lottery ticket. So if you buy a spot at $200, that $200 is coming back to you, or those apples are coming back to you. Sorry, guys. I have a hard time not saying that M word, but anyway, that's what I think. Ty, does that make sense to you, what I just said?
Yeah, you just put a great idea in my head. I got a great idea from that.
Okay.
Awesome. They do racing at roller skating rink that I go to. And I have extra money that I can put into it, but I can give out prizes like you're saying.
Absolutely.
And get people in to it, like the families that come in, like the mother and father. They're the ones that want best for their child, and they come in and watch the kid race, to win prizes in that. So that part of the prizes would be that for me. So that's what I would try to, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah,
I'm
you could do that.
I'm going to do that.
You could also, the other thing is, don't forget, trophies are not that expensive, and you can buy a big trophy and still keep a lot of that money and put in to give away. But whenever you give away a spot, remember, not only are you giving away a spot, but it's coming back to you. It's helping you out.
Another thing too, I wanted to bring up was an NFT was non-fungible token, right? Rich people buy them. And I'll give you an example of one, right? A digital picture of something that represents OnPassive, like a gold coin.
Sorry, Ty. Let's put that for another topic, because we're focusing on sports and teams right now, not on the token parts right now.
Well, I'm talking about it's a prize, really, basically, to give to them.
Yeah, let's
keep that for another time.
For the other discussions. All right. So we have Elaine Bradley and we have Marty, and then we have Leon, and we'll see how the time goes for everyone, and then we'll call more. But Elaine, I see you have your hand raised. Did you want to say something, Elaine, to add to the conversations that we have? Elaine Bradley? Going once, going twice.
Yeah, I had to unmute myself. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead, Elaine.
I've been in since 2018. This is the best webinar I've ever seen. It gives you more information. It gives you more ideas. It just really, it boosted me up a lot. It really has. And I want to thank everybody for all their hard work, for everything they've done for me.
Thank you, Elaine. We appreciate you. All right, Marty, I'd love to hear from you.
If we've learned one thing tonight, if you can think about it, you can do it. I mean, there's nothing out of the way. I heard Niraj talk about cricket. Now in the United States, we know what a cricket is. You try to step on them when they get in your way, right? But but cricket is one of the biggest sports in the world, far bigger than NFL football. It's one of the top sports in the world, fan base, the biggest. And there's little simple things. I'll tell you, I had a sports app. You could go on any group in Facebook to suck people out of Facebook. A simple thing. Take your passion, whether it's cricket, volleyball, softball, whatever. You made a post, and the post said, "Who loves cricket?" Comment below. Now, I made a sports app, and my question was, what is your favorite NFL team? I had 950,000 responses, almost 1 million.
Wow.
Because people were passionate about the team, and they didn't think I'm leading them somewhere. Now, I have to admit it, I was leading them somewhere, but I wanted to know, because I figured if I ask them a question, they're not feeling any kind of pressure, right? People can't wait to tell you. And by the way, the biggest fan base of football is Dallas Cowboys, whether anybody likes it or not. They're not even my team, but they were 5-1 as far as fans that actually said what team they loved. The biggest sports football team in the United States, bar none. That's just a little input you get when you do a lot of marketing. But take that anything. Who loves piano? Who loves, and people can't wait to tell you. I'm just telling you. And when they do, you get back to them and say, I've got a group just discusses piano. I've got a group that just talks about cricket. Guys, no joke. Start using your imagination. These little things, little tricks. Who loves to roller skate? I know Dixie Google does. I know that for a fact, right? So you post something like that and people can't wait to tell you. Then you have a group. I'm actually left a message for Ash. If we can have groups in ONET, now I know he doesn't want to be like Facebook, but groups are pretty cool if you keep them right. You can get a lot of people to come because you have a lot more in common with people than you think. And you ask stuff that's very, there's no pressure on anybody to ask them what their favorite sport is. None. What is your favorite instrument? What music do you like? Who likes country? Who likes country music, right? Milo's going to sign it. Oh, I do. And you'll be surprised what happens. You can get thousands and thousands and thousands of people doing that and say, well, come meet this group. We have 25,000 country Western people in this group that you got to come see us. Now you got 50,000. And you do that little things, guys. I'm only telling you because I've done it and it works. Once they come on your side, once they come to the gate, they're yours for life. Don't think about being free. Free's okay. Zoom has a free service and they made $140 billion last year. So free works. Get them in where there's no pressure. Once they're in, they're going to look around this mall called OnPassive and they're going to find something they like. It's a guarantee. And we don't even know what the products are. Is it a O phone that costs half as much as iPhone and has all the gadgets? Maybe. Is it a laptop? Maybe. You know who Ash is. You know what he does. He's going to take what's already there that's being sold for billions and make it better and stronger and higher technology and cheaper. You can't beat it, guys. There's no competition, but start using your mind. That's why I like meetings like this. We can bring in all the people we want. What we got to do is get people thinking about what they already have because they don't know. That gentleman that was here about volleyball, he left here with a bigger prize than he brought. Guaranteed. No, guaranteed. And you'll find that with everyone. You go in, you start people thinking. I can see people's face here where they're going, oh my God, that means I could do this. And yes, that's what it means. If you're thinking, yes, that's exactly what I mean. I'm sorry I took so much time, but really you got to think what the possibilities are mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing.
And be consistent.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Wow, you know what to do the next one, right? Who loves churches? Who loves real estate? Who loves you, whatever that you are doing, right? That's how you start. Thank you so much.
Bring your pastor's own, right?
Yeah,
Julie? Everyone
exactly.
should bring their pastors, bring the deacons, bring the treasurers, bring all of them, because I guarantee you, we are going to provide them with a lot of information.
Absolutely.
A lot it will do.
Oh, I'm excited. All right, I see Leon couldn't raise his the Zoom hand, but he's raising his physical hand. So Leon, come on down.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me here today. I've been listening to everyone, and I invited a coach, and he wasn't able to make it today because it was kind of a short notice for him. But here's the interesting part. He has an organization called YAC, Youth Athlete in Christ. So what he does, he takes athletes from a very young age, and he follow them all the way through high school, through Little League, everything, and to college, and he does films on them. And he sends these films to the universities. A lot of people that this is so great for him, because if you send these the highlight shots to all these universities, that some kids would never even get the opportunity. He already got players in the NFL that he helped. My son was one of the players that he got in the Division one school by he played at Washington State football because he had his film. So imagine he have is it O Connect? He have O Connect, and then and he takes the film and he can send it to multiple universities, multiple schools, and he can follow everything all through. Not only he does football, but he does softball, baseball, wrestling. So he gets all these kids. So now, if the kids don't make it into any of these areas, they part of an organization. And now you got the NFL people come, and it's a nonprofit organization. So it's self-funded by some of the NFL players. You know, they go back and they make a donation because that organization helped them throughout the process. Now, this tool, OnPassive, is a great tool in many different areas. The O-Mail, so also the O-Create, also the O-Commerce, and a lot of the people talking about the sports, and you got to buy uniforms, you got to buy this. Imagine you now get their link, and you put that link in your back office, and you can buy the products that all these sports need. And now you can make a commission off of the product, you know, for having it. So like you said, when we get on here, Marty mentioned it better. This is so great because there's so many ideas and so many possibilities right at our fingertip. And I wish the coach could have got on here because he would have been just in awe because of all the possibilities that we have that this could help in sports. And like Julie mentioned, churches, sports, and anything else we're gonna keep getting all these aha moments because there's so many opportunities that we have and OnPassive. So that's all I want to say right now.
Awesome, Leon. Thank you so much. Did you guys hear what Leon said? On the first thing he said, right? Did you see how he goes from he's a coach, he's follow that comes to film, that come to, I mean, there are so many things that this coach, this gentleman can use on OnPassive, and how many lives that he had touched, right? So
yes.
Really, truly, it's going to open up so much more, not only on the sports side of it, right? Film, education. Yep. I mean, exactly. There's so much more. So I really like you to literally take this conversation today and then listen to it again and literally putting down the notes, taking down the spot, the point that we would bring up here and say, oh, I think this person can be fit in this puzzle. That person can fit in that puzzle, right? And all you got to do is share this video and then bring those points to them and say, oh, I think this may help you on what you're doing right now. And you might not have the fun to do it, but here's a revenue here, not the revenues. Here's a venue, what you can just open up more for more things to do, right? So truly think outside of the box. Think outside of the team of OnPassive. Think the value of the products of OnPassive can bring to others people. I really like you to think that, because having team or no team right now, it's already over, right? Think about how much impact, how big you can take OnPassive and share it to other people. And I think if you kind of put your mindset, your thought into that journey, if you don't see OnPassive, it is there, then I'm not sure what to say, right? Am I right, Milo?
You're right. Absolutely.
Okay. Tony is next. I thought you were calling on Tony.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think probably Tony will be the last one because we want to wrap it up. I'd like to talk just a little bit about churches real quick before we end. And so let's let Tony be the last one for today because we've got a lot in, man. It's been good.
I'll be quick, Milo. I'll be very quick.
No hurry.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Milo, Julie, what a great webinar. Very informative, extremely informative about what we've been talking about here. And the opportunities are extremely endless with OnPassive. One thing that I've always cherished and I cherish it even more now that I'm a founding member of OnPassive, is something that that nothing else compares to, and that's time freedom. When we have time freedom, OnPassive is going to give us time freedom to enjoy our passions, whether that's volleyball or hockey or whatever the case may be, you know, to enjoy our kids or our grandkids, watching them grow up and not worry about, you know, spending all that time at work, for example, right? So that's what I love about this company. I mean, we are in a great place, and that's all I wanted to say. Thank you so much for having me on, Milo and Julie. Great, beautiful webinar. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony. Great point there. Time freedom. That is huge. And just like I said before, you know, I don't think you'll be seeing anyone doing anything that they're not passionate about, because they don't have to no more, you know. But I just want to talk to you about, it's 7:14, so we're almost done, but I want to talk to you a little bit about churches. I know a ton about churches. I grew up as a Pentecostal preacher's kid. So I've been in churches my whole life. I was deacon, I was treasurer. And I'm not saying I was a good all the time, because I wasn't, okay? I was a preacher's kid, and you know how that is. But anyway, I know all the ins and outs of churches and what makes them run, how they run, things that are important to them. There's no better place to start than with your church, because it is an extended arm into the community. And when you can get a church, when you bring a church in and they're able to put all of that funds out there, whether it's food, whether it's how about missionary, you know, foreign mission, they might be in a spot that they're doing a missionary that you know, there's no one in that place. They're out in a desolate area. What if you're the first to go in there because you brought a church in? They go there and it's going to explode that whole country. Would you like to be that? I would. I mean, that's important, you know. And so what I challenge you is talk to your ministers or whatever. Try to get them on the show, deacons or treasurers. Try to get them to the show so that we can get a panel together. I would love nothing more than to have 4 or 5 guys there, ministers, that just ask us questions. And just like Doug tonight, you know, they know the problems that are going on. And guess what? We got the solution. We got the solution. I don't care what it is, you know, there is a solution out there. We are the correction to the, the correction to the corruption. So I think it's important for us, do yourself a favor, see if you can get, if you know a minister, if you know a church, man, try to get them on the show, because I can promise you it's going to be an eye-opener, just like it was tonight for that coach, but it's going to be even more of an eye-opener when we start talking about churches and what it will do for churches. I'm telling you, there's things that probably a lot of you have never even thought of that it's going to go, oh my God, I never even thought of that. You know, so next week, or no, when is that? That's Saturday, Julie?
That is Saturday, this coming Saturday. And then on Wednesday, we're going to do real estate agent, loan officers, or escrow. That is a huge topic. We have the next topics lined up already, right? We have all those topics that we line up. And if you have one that you associate to the group of people that you want to say, hey, can you cover this subject, right? Please feel free to send them to myself or Milo, do a group chat, just so that we can prepare for you, right? We have all these topics that we lined up. Remember, a year ago when Milo and I started the Julie and Milo show, we did 30 videos of how OnPassive can help, right? Different subjects, different all of that. Now we'll bring them back in real life. We'll bring not only the topics back, but we bring back with, you know, a real problems, right? Real persons, real discussions, right? So we would love for you to just keep sending in if you like us to cover certain topics. We'd love to do that. So thank you so much, everyone. Do you want to go ahead and say your thank you, your last things you said, Milo, and then send it to me, and I'll close it out.
Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight, because remember, there would be no Julie and Milo show without each of you. And remember, you are the leaders. Everyone that here is a leader. And we're just so thankful that you came here to be with us and spend some time with us. And that's it. That's all I got to say. I'll see you next time. I love every one of you. Back to you, Miss Julie Wynn. Take her
You
away.
didn't say Julie Nagaiwan. You
Well,
always
I
do
started to say
that.
that. Julie Nagaiwan.
Funny. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for being here with us. I had a conversation with a founder this morning, and sometimes we have to change the way we think. What we think put us where we are, right? If you're currently dealing with something difficult, just step away from it a little bit and look back and see how many people are in the world as the worst situation than you are. Truly, if you were looking at it like that, you're going to see yourself in such a best place, right? And this morning I talked to this gentleman and I said, if you are looking at OnPassive, the giant ship that actually going to carry millions and billions of people in it, there's 1,000 pieces that needs to put together. It is now looking as a beautiful ship already, but it's missing some piece. Those pieces are there, but it needs to be put together. Let's look at that OnPassive as a giant ship that's carrying us around through our life. Where we are today does not predict or does not dictate what is going to be our future. So before I send you away, please change your mindset a little bit. Change the way we think. The way we think will put us where we want it to be. So thank you so much. I just want to send that last thought out to everyone. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. We appreciate you. Like Milo said, without you, there's no Julie and Milo show. So we always appreciate you. If you're watching live on Facebook, on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel that you are watching. There's so much more information that we want to share with you. Subscribe, click the bell so that when we come out the video, you'll be the first one to see it. Thank you so much, everyone. Good night from Orange County, California.
Good night from Nashville.
Good night from Philadelphia, PA.
Good night from North Carolina.
Night from Maryland.
Night
from DMV area.
Saturday.
Night from Maryland. Good night.
Good night from North
Have a blessed evening. Blessed day.
Good night, everybody.